Hey friends, it's RJ here, and I want to talk a bit about a few of the things that we can do. In one of the ways of managing stress this holiday season is through gratitude practices. And certainly, as things get more stressful and kind of ramp up for the holiday season, it can be really hard to get your head out of the immediate chaos of everything and into reflecting on the big picture and just appreciating this time of year and some of the special things that happen. So, I want to talk about a few of the strategies that I've been using that I think are very helpful that you can make use of as well this time of year in order to get more out of this season and really just enjoy the present moment again. And it comes around a couple of different gratitude practices that we can make use of when we particularly need it this time of year. So the first one that I want to talk about is handwriting cards to people. Maybe you already do this to some extent with the friends and family that you are giving gifts to, or maybe just sending some cards to. But we've taken it a step further this year at Flow Spa with handwriting cards to a bunch of our customers. And I think that it's making a big difference. Each and every day as you sit down and write a couple of cards to people that maybe you haven't seen in a while, or that you're just thinking about and reminding them that you're thinking about them. Something that we're definitely very grateful for at Flow Spa, because these are the people that have helped to keep our business going in the past year or in the past couple of years. And so it gives you that chance to be grateful. Also, there is a lot of power in writing things down, especially when it comes to gratitude practices and just trying to get embodied more in the positivity of the moment. Gratitude is one of the best things that we can do for developing more optimism and a positive frame of mind and thinking. And by writing things down, it just makes it that much more real in our brains rather than just, thinking things through, reflecting on them, but only doing it in your mind. When you write it on paper, especially, it makes a big difference. Now, if you've got, that kind of taken care of, you've sort of done that first step in writing out some cards and being grateful for the people in your life this time of year. The next thing is to get back on track if you haven't been keeping consistent with a gratitude practice and doing the three things practice, which helps you look at something you are grateful for in the past, something you're grateful for in the present, and something that you're grateful for looking towards and looking forward to in the future is a powerful way to frame the different types of gratitude instead of just, we often get stuck thinking just in terms of what we've been grateful for in the past, or we get too far ahead of ourselves with constantly looking for the next thing. And both of those can be a challenge. We want to balance that out and strive to also be very grateful in the present moment. That's why these thank you cards or these handwritten cards to people in our lives is also very great, because we can look back and reflect on what we've been grateful for them bringing to us in the past, but also just in that present moment of thanking them, it helps you to really embody and not get too far ahead of yourself as well. So when we're doing a 3-stage gratitude practice, writing it down again is a really great way to make sure that it kind of sticks in your mind and to make it more real. It also helps us because often, if you do a regular gratitude practice, you maybe come back to the same things time and time again. And that can be challenging for building a bigger picture and like a broader sense of what we're grateful for. We kind of get stuck with the same old thing. Like, you sit down in the morning, you write your gratitude list, and it always is like that warm cup of coffee you've got, or, you're grateful for your dogs, that you come up with the same things each and every time, which gets old in our minds, and we want to paint a broader picture of what we're grateful for. And that's what we're doing with a gratitude practice, is training our mind to look at the positivity in a wide scale of different events and different circumstances in our life. So that's where it's great to, do this past, present, future style and think up of three things each day. You can do it first thing in the morning and reflect on past days, or you can also do it as something at the end of the day and ask yourself one good thing that happened during the day, and then also what you're grateful for in the present moment, and something you're still working towards or looking forward to in the future. And, even just thinking about this for a few minutes is enough to get our body into a state of cardiac coherence where our heartbeat and our brain waves sync up. But when we write it down and we do this consistently, it allows us to constantly shift into more of that positive growth oriented mindset where we can accomplish more of whatever it is we want to achieve. Now, the third practice, especially this time of year, that can be really powerful for giving yourself a sense of gratitude, ties into that last one with the three things we're grateful for, but doing a deeper dive onto reflecting on the past year. Now, especially if you've been consistent with a gratitude practice, writing it down, maybe having a specific gratitude journal or a log in a notes app on your phone or your computer, you can go back through and look at the things that you're grateful for, either in the present moment or the things that you were grateful for in the past, and see and kind of point out what were those things that went really well this past year. So that's the first question you want to ask yourself. What went really well this past year? And then also, what are the things that you had that were new experiences for you? Because our life is made up of different experiences, much more than just accomplishing, goals for the sake of accomplishing goals. It's like, what have we experienced? And also, when we get too caught up in those goals that are around like monetary goals or things that we want rather than experiences, we can really get down on ourselves or not appreciate the present moment as much. So it's very helpful to, when you do a reflection, and maybe you set aside a couple of hours on one of the weekends coming up in the last few weeks of the year, to really think about this and dive in, go through your calendar, or just think month by month, what were the great things that happened and what were the new experiences you had. And if you are consistent with this practice each and every year, it gets better for you because you've started to set some life goals, really. And this kind of happens even if you're not super intentional about it, because you start to shape your life in the way that you want it to play out the more that you reflect on those experiences and you realize, oh, I want to have more time in nature, or I want to have more experiences with friends, I want to travel more. All these things that we kind of put together in the future sense start to become present tense, and also things that we've gone through and experienced past tense once we start to do this more consistently year by year. So you can look back on the YouTube channel, because I've talked about different reflection activities and gratitude activities in the past as well. But when we kind of start to tie these three aspects of, being grateful for our community and the people in it, being grateful for the present moment, being grateful for the past year and the experiences we have, and what we're looking forward to in the next year, all of it comes together in a really powerful way to just start to shape our life in the most intentional and meaningful ways. And of course, that is what leads us into finding our flow more and into experiencing flow on a daily basis, which is important for having the most meaning in our life and having those peak experiences that we want to have and being intentional about that is something that it starts to really put together. And because we've shaped our mind in a positive, optimistic way through practicing gratitude and practicing reflection, we are able to start to build in that habit that's going to get us consistently there more regularly. So that's what I've got for you today, on another sort of live, kind of like quick and immediately to publishing it. Still working on more videos on different topics. Be sure to drop a comment down below on what you want to learn more about or what you want to see more of, and I will get to work on it. But it's the most busy season for me at Flow Spa, and so trying to share content as much as I can while also managing everything else we've got going on with the holidays and our sales. So thanks as always for tuning in, and be sure to do those gratitude practices if you haven't already started for yourself at this time of the year. And I will talk to you in the next one.